Hey, I'm here with Carson Clark, senior opposite from Santa Barbara, California. Thanks for joining us here in this interview this afternoon and for taking the time with us.
Oh, no problem. Happy to be here.
All right on. Here's your first question.
Okay.
First of the two toughest ones on this sheet.
All right.
What Jedi powers do you really have?
Everything. I like the Force leap. Lightsaber skills are also a good one to have. And, I got that Jedi mind trick, too. I use them all. I like it all.
All right. The second tough one, also, this one comes from our Facebook page as well. Approximately how many hours a day do you spend looking at pictures of puppies online?
That's a ridiculous one because a good amount of hours. I'm not even gonna, when I'm bored, I go to puppy pictures. Nothing makes me happier than puppy pictures. Right. So anytime my parents want to get a puppy, I got plenty for them to look at.
I figured there'd be a ton on the Clark Ranch up in Santa Barbara.
There's only one right now. Hopefully we'll get more out there.
All right. Now the volleyball questions. How'd you get into playing volleyball?
My brothers. My oldest brother Ian started, and he played at San Ynez with one of the best high school programs out there. And Chip Faniga was the coach, and he was just awesome and had the wits come through. George Romaine. All these guys are just super talented. So my brother was on the team, good friends with everybody, and we ended up being able to watch them and just to see like a team compete at that high of a level, and it's just so fast. Like it's such a game of momentum that I was hooked from the start. So probably, I didn't start playing until around 7th or 8th grade, but I was hooked at a young age. I was that little kid running around with the ball. I was
All right. Now describe your pre-UC Irvine volleyball career, and obviously you've touched a little bit on your high school experience, but like, how did you get that momentum to want to continue playing volleyball?
So I started at San Ynez High School, and I got to start on varsity right away with my brother, my middle brother's son, which was awesome because you got to love being able to play with your family. So that was sweet. And then he actually started playing club volleyball, and I think we were both like I was a sophomore and he was like a senior, and I wanted no part of it at the start. I was like, club volleyball is just too much volleyball right away. But my parents begged me, and after like a few weeks of it, they got me in there, and I went to Club Santa Barbara and ended up having a really good time. Made some of my best friends, and from there, my parents were awesome enough to make the move to Santa Barbara so I could just continue my career, and they knew that that was the best spot because of guys like Karch playing there and everything like that. The situation in Santa Barbara was just a lot higher competition than where I was. So got lucky there, and they ended up moving to Santa Barbara for me, and I got to play a few years there.
Great. Now, who are some of the guys you got to play with both at Santa Ynez and at Santa Barbara?
San Ynez, there wasn't as many like people who moved on to college, but my brother was probably one of the main ones that was awesome to play with. But the Urtons, who were a big family out there, I got to play with them, and they were great too. And then at Santa Barbara, I was able to play with Rick Cervantes, who is one of my good buddies, and love that family. And then who else do we have? Oh, K-Spear, Jeremy out there. Yep. So Jeremy was one of my best friends in high school, and we did everything together. So we always had a solid team and a great group of friends because we all played volleyball and we all hung out. So
right.
It was a good time out there.
Cool, right on. Now, more towards your UC Irvine career, what made you choose UC Irvine above other volleyball powerhouses? Because I know that you were recruited by quite a few big programs.
Yeah, so I ended up starting at Club Santa Barbara, and after a while, I wanted to kind of move on a little bit, and I went down to SCVC, and it was a 3-hour drive, and I can't thank my parents enough again for making all the sacrifices they did, but I ended up meeting the Spittle family, who's like our best family friends. So, I met Anthony and played with him for like 3 years, and I just loved everything about the kid, and their family was just awesome and took us in and let us stay over whenever we needed to when we didn't want to make the drive home and everything. And they were just really amazing for my family. So to be honest, at the start, I was like, Irvine, I didn't know much about it, and I was like, I don't really want to live there. And then I came down and checked out the school with Anthony just because I was like, all right, I owe it to the Spittles. I'll come out and check it out. And then we went down to Paul Spittle's house, who was playing on the team at that time, and he lived right next to the beach. And I was like, all right.
Hooked.
Kind of want to go here now. So, being from Santa Barbara, I didn't want to lose the beach, but I wanted to get a little bit away. So Irvine ended up being awesome in that department. And then I found out what Sparral was doing here, and I knew he had something really special going, and I wanted to be a part of it.
Well, great. That's actually a great segue into our next question. How's it been like playing for Coach Speraw?
Awesome. I knew if I wanted to make it to the national team, he was the best stepping stone, and he would give me the best or the most well prepared for what I needed to have in my tool set to make it at that high level. And it's worked out really well for me. And I know he's probably the best coach in the nation right now. And yeah.
Well, obviously he's contributed to helping you develop not only in the collegiate level, but also now on the international level, because you've competed with the U.S. men's national team on the Pan Am roster in 2010 and the World University Games in 2011. How was it like representing the USA, wearing the red, white, and blue and playing in these international competitions?
It was awesome because I got the opportunity to be coached by Rick McLaughlin, who coaches at UC Santa Barbara. And it's a really cool experience to see what different coaches have, and being able to play with David Smith and Jason Jablonski and Brian Thornton was something that I've always wanted because they graduated right before I got here. So that was a unique opportunity, and I got very lucky with it. And I ended up going down to, I think it was Puerto Rico, and we won gold, and it was a really fun time, and got really lucky and ended up making it onto the World Championship team, and went to Italy, and it was probably one of the best experiences of my life.
Wow. Sounds exciting. With you'd mentioned some other anteaters that you played with on those national teams, because I think if I remember correctly, so you named Jablonski, Thornton, Smith. There's Matt Weber, Jordan Dufault. You had all these anteaters around you, plus Speraw coaching. I mean, that had to be a pretty unique experience for you. To play with other guys like that.
It was really cool, especially because you don't have a head coach who's from Irvine, so it's like that he's producing these players who maybe aren't the most top recruited or something like that, but he's able to change players through this program, and it was awesome to be surrounded by. I think at one time there were like 6 or 7 anteaters in the gym, and it was a really cool feeling.
Yeah, definitely. Now, in regards, or in more particular, your position, and you came into basically having a history of pretty powerful opposites in the program. Starting with Matt Weber and then John Steller, and then you step in. I mean, seeing that, did you feel any pressure into coming into this system?
I didn't feel that much pressure. I was excited to go, and I was bummed my redshirt freshman year when I hurt myself and I wasn't able to go. But Steller had a huge year and played really well, and it was an All-American. And there's certain things you pick up from watching him that have made me better and made me the player I am today. So I was really lucky being able to watch those two when I was coming up, and then being able to play a little bit against them and compete just made me even better.
Good. What has been your most memorable moment in your career as an anteater?
It's probably got to be that national championship. I mean, that or watching Ammo change as a player was really cool. It's not exactly a volleyball thing, but just watching him mature in the steps that he took to become the great player that he was. And I mean, we wouldn't have won without that guy. So it was really cool to watch that, especially for my freshman year.
Yeah, 5-set thriller in Provo, Utah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Taylor Wilson, all those guys, Brenna Suka, Nikki Six, Steller coming up big. It was awesome just because those guys take you in and take you under their wing. And volleyball's really cool like that. The national team did the same thing with me. Everybody was super welcoming and helped me out whenever I needed help. And it was nice to know those guys had my back in that game.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. And I know that you probably try and play this down, but it's hard to play it down. You've easily become one of UC Irvine's most decorated volleyball players. You have the potential of being a 4-time All-American. And what I didn't reveal to you is that you made first team All-MPSF. That was released probably right before you got out of practice. And you basically set a new historical record at UC, actually for the MPSF, first player to get it 4 years in their career. So, did you ever imagine your career turning out this way?
No, to be honest. That's really cool. Didn't know about that.
Sorry to get this on tape.
Right now. No, it's all right. That's cool. I mean, I don't really worry about those things as much as worrying about winning. And I mean, I'll be happier if we run out with another championship this year. And that's kind of how I measure what I did at this school. So if I can leave my mark with a positive thing where we can get better recruits and everybody has more attention on UC Irvine and knows that we're a powerhouse, I'll be happy that way.
Right on. And sorry to be the bearer of that news. I had to mention it. So
it's all right, no problem. I don't mind.
It's all right. I went to McDonald. Go, congratulations. He's like, for what?
Yeah.
So if he watches this, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Can you talk about the support you've had from your family over your entire volleyball career? You already talked about it a little bit, and I've had the opportunity to interact with your family as well, and they are definitely diehard. Can you talk about that?
I mean, if they don't love volleyball more than I do, I'd be surprised, because they talk about it constantly and they're all about it. Any situation where I need a little help, or I'm like, can I go on this trip? They're like, oh, volleyball, go for it. They're exactly what you said. They're diehard, and they love the sport, and they love. I think it was kind of like, it was a big thing for us, but it became so much bigger when we came to Irvine, because it's such a family and all the parents hang out. I mean, Sproul really built a really cool family around the team. I think we're a family first and a team second, because I mean, everybody hangs out. So they've been huge with that, but I feel like they feel like they're part of a team now because of what we've set up and the way you guys interact, and everybody like that interacts.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.